This exercise is designed to enable senior leadership teams to run a tabletop exercise against a complex, emotive, potentially fast-moving and highly disruptive crisis event. The exercise seeks to explore prioritized decision-making, the distribution of roles and responsibilities, effective communications, the application of policies, plans, guidelines, protocols, and standard operating practices, the leveraging and engagement of internal and external resources and stakeholders, and the activation and application of support and resources. Where gaps and shortfalls are identified, then these may form the basis of corrective actions or opportunities for improvement before a real crisis occurs.
A fire has occurred at a large and critical location, resulting in substantial property damages, disruption to operations, and injuries within those at the site. The fire burned for several hours before firefighters brought the incident under control. The crisis management team was activated by the site management team, although information at this point is limited.
As a leadership team, now discuss the potential risks and management considerations you have identified as they relate to your team in country and what you will expect from them, as well as what you should be directing them to do. As a leadership team, did you consider the following points? Two days have passed since the fire occurred. An assessment of the property damage has been implemented. The findings indicate that critical equipment responsible for 40% of annual output has been severely damaged and may take up to 18 months to replace. Hot work was occurring near this equipment at the time of the fire.
As a leadership team, did you consider the following points? Human Resources have indicated that 23 people were injured during the fire from a mixture of burns, smoke inhalation, and from breathing in toxic fumes. Of those injured, 14 were employees, 7 were contractors, and 2 were visitors to the location. Several of those injured are in a life-threatening condition.
As a leadership team, did you consider the following points? A government inspection has been conducted of the site and the hot work permit standards and practices. The audit found that no hot work permit had been issued and that there had been historic incidents of hot work procedures not being followed over the last 18 months. Video footage of the incident found that combustible materials were within 9 feet or 3 meters of the hot work area, and that the fire watch had departed the area for a cigarette break 10 minutes before the fire occurred while active hot work was occurring.
As a leadership team, did you consider the following points?
Breaking news. A major fire at an international site resulting in multiple injuries and fatalities has now been found to have impacted a local school, severely injuring over 100 students. Parents fear that long-term health implications may exist and are calling for the location to be permanently closed. A pregnant government official visiting the site at the time of the fire has died, along with her unborn twins. The family are calling for a major class action lawsuit for gross negligence. Initial reports indicate a history of safety violations going back more than 10 years. The site remains closed due to major infrastructure damages as ecological cleanup work is conducted. Internal sources suggest that other sites are also unsafe and are likely to be closed down until major safety improvements are implemented. More to follow.
Of those injured, 2 have subsequently died from their injuries, including 1 employee and 1 visitor, who was a local government inspector. The inspector was 4 months pregnant. After the incident, a local school with students aged between 7 to 12 years of age have reported respiratory problems resulting from a large toxic cloud, which impacted the school, which is approximately 1 mile downwind of the site. The school has reported 67 students and 14 staff suffering from mild to severe breathing difficulties. This has created significant community outrage as well as national-level media attention.
As a leadership team, did you consider the following points? Well done. You have moved through a complex and challenging crisis situation, testing your ability to act effectively as a management team, gather and evaluate information to make knowledge-led decisions, communicate information effectively and to the right people, apply your document systems which reflect your standards and practices, leverage internal and potentially external support and resources, and consider the needs of internal and external stakeholders. You should now critically review what went well, but more importantly, where gaps and vulnerabilities have been identified. You should create a list of action points which have been identified during the exercise, assign them to responsible parties, and set timelines for these action points to be addressed. We hope this exercise has been useful to you.